2, again here, will also house a 244-seat auditorium. The auditorium is envisioned as an amenity for both this site and for guests of the resort at Fisherman's Village. Movies, entertainment, presentations can all be offered in the auditorium. It will not be open to the general public and will not generate any traffic.
PD 1-18. If you would like to speak on this public hearing, please take this podium to my right, state your name, that you have been sworn. You have 3 minutes.
This is Tom Hamilton. I have been sworn. My question, I guess, is where will the 240 people who could fit in this auditorium park? It's just, you know, there's not enough parking on the site or anything like this, which means they would overflow into the neighborhood. Now, I know you say, well, we won't allow 240 people there, but we don't know what kind of events might take place in the future and all. And I'm just saying, thinking forward, where will they park?
Thank you.
Hamilton's question. As I stated in the presentation, the auditorium exists. It's already in the building. And there is no intention at this point to open it to the public. It will be for the use of the people staying on this site or for guests of Fisherman's Village. Fisherman's Village is walkable. They also have golf carts that can ferry people back and forth. We are over parked for the site in terms of right now we have some additional parking and the potential for extra parking if it's needed, but at this point it is not open to the public and therefore won't generate the kind of need for parking that it would if it was open to the public. So we believe we can safely accommodate, you know, those needs on this site with the existing and with the ability for additional, as well as, since we control Fisherman's Village, to, you know, utilize the golf carts and require people to walk the few feet over. Thanks.
Thank you.
Together, the flagpoles, the banners, and the signs will alert the public to the existence of the museum and to all the exhibits and programs, both existing and planned. With all the new patrons generated by the signage and displays, the museum would like to expand available parking by extending the existing drive and approved future parking area to create a more functional parking space.
Because of our narrow streets and no sidewalks, is there a backup or a plan for overflow parking? We're concerned that the overflow may cause traffic onto our small streets. Thank you.
Thank you. As you know, this building is owned by the same owners of Fisherman's Village. They have been working cooperatively with the Fisherman's Village owners so that we can accommodate overflow parking in the Fisherman's Village parking lot.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
I attended the Saturday night gala and the Monday night open house ribbon cutting, and I would like to say that if I had $1 for everybody who said to me, what are they going to do about parking, I could be a wealthy woman. So I welcome this. I think you're probably going to need to expand it even further.
So something has come to our attention that, frankly, as far as staff is concerned, we're kind of scratching our head. And it happens. These things happen. Unintended consequences. When we approved the planned development rezoning for 900 West Marion, the former Impac University site, Building 2, I'm going to state exactly what it says. Building 2 will house the Military Heritage Museum. It's currently there, open to the public, office space, and an auditorium, which will be accessory to the hotel units on the property and the timeshare units at Fisherman's Village. The auditorium will not be open to the outside public. That was all part of the agreement as part of the plan development that was written into there by the applicants. The applicants, this was their proposal, and we approved it, but we have a problem. And the problem is that the Military Heritage Museum is using the auditorium, plans to use the auditorium for events. So we've come up with an idea on how to deal with this. you agree with us. If you don't agree with us, okay, but we have an idea on how to deal with this. We have set up a meeting for Friday with Patty Allen, General Manager of Fisherman's Village, assuming the discussion goes the way we hope it will go today. And in addition, our city attorney has an idea on how to deal with the events that the Military Heritage Museum has planned for the auditorium in the interim, depending on how you feel about it.
The intended use of the auditorium, it will be necessary to amend the ordinance Exhibit B, which provides the restrictive language that Howard just read. That's not a big deal, assuming that we have to go through the process of doing that, and the city council approves that.
In Fisherman's Village, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're the ones that are going to have to actually ask us to amend the ordinance, because they're the ones that asked for this language to begin with. And in the interim, because like any other zoning ordinance, it would be up to the city to enforce the deviations from the ordinance. The city council can, and we've done this in the past, make a determination to waive enforcement of that particular provision, that it not be open to the outside public until such time as it's either an ordinance is adopted or an ordinance is rejected with respect to the amendment.
And we're not talking a long period of time. We're planning to have a meeting as early as Friday.
This is the livelihood of the museum, and in order for them to pay the rent, they have to be able to have these kinds of events. So I would really hope that we can do something to at least give them some time to work this out with.
In the nature of full disclosure, I was looking at the minutes of the city council meeting. I think there was concern regarding parking associated with the auditorium. And in my, I won't say my recollection at all, but my assumption from reading the minutes was that in order to avoid objections from those who might object to parking, there was a commitment, in the words of the applicant, that the auditorium would not be open to the outside public. So it is conceivable, again in the way of full disclosure, that the parking issue may arise again, and you may ultimately determine, when the ordinance comes before you, to continue the restriction regarding the use of the outside public.
So just to be clear, they would be permitted to continue having the events that are scheduled on their calendar until we get this resolved?
To be clear, they wouldn't be permitted to do it, but we wouldn't be enforcing the violation of the ordinance. So they can go ahead, they can do it without fear of enforcement. The only way they would be permitted to do it is by amending the ordinance. That's the legal issue.
We've done this before, when there's consensus among council. Again, council has to.
Two, again here, will also house a 244-seat auditorium. The auditorium is envisioned as an amenity for both this site and for guests of the resort at Fisherman's Village. Movies, entertainment, presentations can all be offered in the auditorium. It will not be open to the general public and will not generate any traffic.